Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's pick a card reading, I was getting some inspiration from Spirit to talk about leaving your 9 to 5 and starting a spiritual business. So this is obviously not going to be a message for everyone, but for those of you who this does resonate with or you're pulled to this topic, then you are meant to be here in this reading. So we have 3 groups to choose from. I will give you a top-down view of the cards at the end if you want to sit and kind of look at them and contemplate. But group number 1 is the energy work card. Group number 2 is entrepreneur. And group number 3 is the ocean. And I find it interesting that 2 of the cards out of 3 are talking about leaving a 9 to 5 job for potentially energy work or entrepreneurship. So I didn't intend to sit down and have those cards come out, but obviously Spirit is very much on board with this message coming through. So select the card or cards that you feel drawn to. If you feel drawn to more than one or you want to watch all the videos and just take what resonates, that is totally fine. Use your intuition to guide you to the readings and the messages within those readings that are for you or that feel like they are for you. Use the timestamps in the description box or use the chapter notes below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we will see you there. All right. Hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the energy work card and it says, life can be electrifying because its very essence is energy. Your body is a remarkable energy field that will positively respond to loving treatments. Your hands and heart are activated to give healing energy to your loved ones and clients. So when we're talking about leaving a 9 to 5 and potentially starting some kind of a side hustle that is full-time or entrepreneurship, your own business, energy work could be involved in this. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to become an energy worker. Group number 1, this could indicate that doing some energy work will help you to release some of the blocks emotionally, mentally, or otherwise that may be inhibiting you in taking these direct actions and following that internal pull or guidance that you're receiving. Because I do feel, group number 1, that you have a strong knowing that you need to do this. Maybe you've even taken some initial steps. I'm getting that for some of you in this group, that you've already started to take some I'm hearing the words implement action. You've started to implement some kind of actions towards this goal. The baby in the picture here, like the way that this woman is holding this baby, it feels very much to me like this is a pet project, or this is like your baby, this new project or this idea or this creative expression perhaps as well is in its infancy. But again, I do feel like some of you have already started taking action toward this, but if you have, it's still needing your care, your nurturing, your energy in what you're doing. Oh my God, there's a storm outside coming. Thunder. I don't know if the microphone's going to pick that up, but this is such a profound message, like rumblings of change. Group number 1, the fact that I sit down to film this reading and a thunderstorm rolls up. Like, what? Okay, so, oh my God, and the Spirit had me look down on the card and it says electrifying. What do thunderstorms do? It's electricity and lightning. So definitely just, okay, sorry. They're like interrupting my speech right now. Just follow your inner guidance is what I'm hearing. But they're telling me that some information is going to come through to you, group number 1, during some kind of energy work. So if you're an energy worker and you're doing these types of things on yourself or for clients, there's going to be some kind of guidance that comes through possibly for a client that ends up applying to you. And as an energy worker myself, I actually started my career in the spiritual field as a Reiki master, and I was a practitioner of that. I had my own practice from home and then online via Zoom when the world shut down. And I can tell you that working with hundreds of clients over the years, I have seen patterns and themes, like different groups of people would come to me at different times with very similar questions or issues from all over the world. I would have people come to me and they were very similar to where I was at on my path at that time. And there was guidance and information that came through for them that also applied to me. And I've learned so much along the way because of this. And even now to this day, my clients that I have and I work with mentorship, I still get downloads that I'm learning as I'm going, as I'm teaching, as I'm sharing and supporting other people. So I feel like this is a big message for you as well, group number 1, that you are significantly going to be feeling the shifts happening. First of all, I'm also getting something about energy activation. Some of you may be getting an energy activation from I am hearing Reiki Master. That's not going to be for everyone. Oh, it's from me. Oh my God. I am an energy activator. That's one of the reasons why Spirit has me come physically on camera sometimes. Usually I do top down with my hands only, but because I'm an energy activator, it comes through my eyes as well as through my voice. Any of you who are drawn to group number 1, you're getting an energy activation today to unlock your ability to do energy healing. It's not quite the same caliber as going to a Reiki Master and getting an attunement, but you'll still be getting some kind of an opening or an expansion or like an epiphany that will hit you while watching this reading or after. Yeah, so this is a big shift for you, group number 1. And they keep telling me activated and healing energy is moving through you. For some of you, this could even show up as like a rise in energy, increased energy to, can you repeat that word? Mobilize. Thank you, Spirit. They said mobilize. It's like this energy will mobilize you or it will inspire you to take action. So for some of you who have been sitting on the fence as to whether you're going to leave a 9-to-5 or start a side hustle that will eventually allow you to leave that 9-to-5, especially if you're not happy in your work at the moment, this energy that I'm providing in the reading is going to help mobilize you to take action. Now, it might be right away. It might be a few months or years down the line. Whatever it happens to be, they're telling me sooner than later. Okay. I always like to cover my ass a little bit because I don't know how this energy may unfold. And there's so many different people in the readings, but Spirit is telling me sooner than later for most of you. Yeah. So, group number 1, you guys are getting a real sort of like push, but in like the most supportive possible way to help you to make this jump or this leap or to make this change. Yeah. They're telling me that this is going to be like a lightning moment. We haven't even gotten any other cards yet. And I'm just sitting here channeling. This speaks to me that you're going to be able to do this, group number 1. Like you won't need the cards. You'll just be able to channel. You'll be able to bring through information for your clients, for projects as well. They're telling me for some of you, you don't want to work with clients. That's fine. They're telling me something about projects that you're going to be able to do. And you're going to get inspiration after inspiration after inspiration. It's going to come in, you're going to mobilize it, implement it, and you're going to see the results of that like pretty quickly. Now that doesn't mean that your business is going to like launch and get super high sales right away. For some of you, they're telling me that is the case. Okay. For others of you, this might take a little longer, and that's where the energy work comes in. That's where shifting your own frequency is going to help your business to thrive, because the business is kind of like a reflection of where you're at energetically, the lessons you're learning, they're also showing me an energy stamp. For those of you who have already started businesses, I'm getting a message about checking. Sorry if you can hear the rain on the window. The storm is hitting. It's like it's coming, guys. It's like a change in the wind. This storm is approaching, but it's going to significantly reposition you. But anyway, back to the message they were just giving me. Some of you are being called to check the natal chart of your business. So check the day that you built the website, created the content, started working on a plan. Check the imprint, because just as people have natal charts, so do businesses. Yeah. So there's something about that. Oh my God, the rain is going so hard. There's something about that they want you to look at, because there's information in that. This is so intense, you guys. I'm feeling this energy moving through my body, and it is electrifying. Okay. So group number 1, oh my God. You guys are so intense, group 1. You have the world. You are here to change the world. Group number 1, you guys are here to heal the world. They're showing me hands across America. I'm not even American. A lightning bolt just went off outside the window. You guys are here you're like change makers. I'm full goosebumps right now. I don't know if you can see that, but this is insane. You guys are here to heal the world. Remarkable energy you have, group number 1. If you were drawn to this group, you have remarkable energy. And you are making some big changes in your life. You have the Chariot. It was in reverse. I'll show it to you upright so you can kind of get a look at it. The Chariot. This is the Last Unicorn deck. They specifically had me use this one. I haven't used it in months. The Last Unicorn was a movie that came out, I think they're telling me 1981. I don't know if that's accurate, but it was in the 80s at some point. I'll have to Google that later. But It's a movie about a unicorn that becomes a woman. It's really interesting. There could be some kind of an archetypal representation of you in that movie, group number one, if you haven't seen it, or if you may be called to watch it. But anyways, in the chariot here, we have a knight battling a dragon. And I feel like this is you having to overcome some of your big fears or demons to be able to implement this change. They keep giving me the word mobilize. So making this idea tangible, putting it into action, mobilizing the thought, the inspiration, the energy to start to make this change or to shift. I did hear entrepreneurship. That's the card for group number 2. You might want to check that reading out as well. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what messages are going to be there. But in regard to this chariot in the reverse position, I feel like you've been holding back or you've been resisting implementing this change. It feels vulnerable. They're showing me the baby again. Like it felt or feels vulnerable for you to put yourself out there in this way, or to trust that you can sustain yourself with this idea or this project, this business. I'm also feeling hesitation around, it's kind of like doubting that you can do something that will make a difference or that will help people or that will change the world. And they're telling me, do not underestimate your power. Group number 1, do not underestimate your power. If you're being called to a position that involves helping other people or energy work in any way, there's a very specific reason why, and your energy is unique. It's giving me unicorn vibes, like you're special in that way, and you can make a difference. So especially if you're called to do energy work, it doesn't have to be Reiki, it can be anything. There's so many modalities. But if you're called to help other people to shift their energy, you are a conduit for that. You're a channel. I'm hearing you're a channel, group number 1, and you're meant to follow that, because this is, first of all, what your soul is naturally skilled or talented at. Yeah, they're giving me the word embodiment. It's just how you embody. So it's going to be a lot more authentic to you, especially if you've been in a corporate job. Your 9 to 5 was really restrictive, or it was not at all connected to spirituality or your passions. It doesn't have to be spiritual, but I think for a lot of you in this group it is. But they're telling me that to overcome some of these blocks and barriers, like these boulders that are in your way, that's what they're showing me, like the way that there's these boulders in front of the knight here. And it's a hard thing to get past those boulders, let alone the dragon that's breathing fire at you from behind them. So this is like you overcoming some obstacles here within yourself, the way that you're thinking about this, I just heard. Yeah. So the way that you think about this, the way that you see yourself may have to adapt as well, which again is where the energy work and healing comes in, because as you practice this for yourself, you'll be able to do that with other people as well. And we have the Page of Cups reversed as well. I heard lightworker wound and pain imprint is what they're telling me. This can also be connected to the persecution imprint. This is something that's come up a few times here on the channel, and I've experienced this myself. So especially if you're called into work as a channeler, a psychic, a healer, a shaman, a musician, I just heard as well. Okay. There can be fears that are deeply held within the soul blueprint and the pain body, they're telling me, the pain body, that have come from past experiences, either in this lifetime or previous lifetimes or both, that have basically showed you at this experiential level that other people cannot be trusted, and that you putting in the work and your being in your power gets you attacked in some way, or rejected or abandoned or straight up killed. Like, yeah, we all know the story of like the witches getting burned at the stake and stuff like that. So that persecution imprint can run pretty deep. That's another reason that they're saying energy work is required here for you specifically. And that will help to free up space in your field to take on new responsibilities in this way, to show up more authentically, and to embody this highest expression of your light and shine it without, I'm hearing without delay, but I was going to say without holding yourself back or without restricting yourself in some way. So healing something at this deep level in the pain body, connected to being visible, being a conduit in the world, showing up as there's cat hair or something fluff on my lip. It's like, oh, lips, communication. Yeah, being able to speak your truth, getting rid of some of the irritations and things like that may prevent you from doing that. Okay, Two of Coins. If you are concerned about money, group number 1, the first place to begin doing some adjustment here, because I do feel like there's some adjustment required, is figuring out the practicalities of what you need to invest in. Like, what is the highest priority is what I'm hearing. So let's say you have rent due. I mean, we all have rent or mortgage or whatever payments that you have to make, and you need a certain amount of money for that. For you, group number 1, they're talking about preparation. Okay, so if you're planning to make a jump, don't do it sort of willy-nilly. They want you to have a plan about how you're going to do this willy-nilly. So they want you to have a plan about how you're going to do this, and have funds. They keep telling me the word mobilize again, so it's like a different context now. Funds that you can mobilize to use if needed. It's like a backup money or a safety net or some kind of a savings or something like that that's going to help you to get this off the ground. They're also showing me that you're going to have 2 income sources for a period of time. So you might have an income source from your 9 to 5 and then one from the work that you're starting to do in this other business or this other line of work. And they're telling me whatever you make from the line of work that you are going into that feels more aligned with you, save that. Use the 9 to 5 money to pay for your essentials, and then use the extra money that you're getting, or that any other money that you're earning from your work, your like soul work, save that, because it's like you're building back up your energy somehow. That's what they're showing me. Energy it directly correlates to money. I've talked about this in a few different readings as well. Money is energy, and it just represents value. It's symbolic, literally. I mean, money has no inherent value in and of itself. So it's the symbolism it's the energy that we give to it. And it's the same thing with your physical energy. And for some reason, when you're saving that money that you're making through your art, I just heard, or through your skill, or through this soul level talent, it's like you are acquiring more stability within yourself. That's what they're showing me. And it helps to build you up from the inside out. And then from that, you're able to make a change and switch. And then they're showing me that the tables will turn, in the sense that the money that you were earning from your 9 to 5 was bigger before. So it was up here. And then the money you were earning from the side hustle was down here. And then slowly it starts going like this. Okay. And then once it gets here, you can eschew the 9 to 5 completely. You can leave it behind and focus solely on the finances that you're getting from your work, from your business, from your soul expression. So you see that here with that 2 of Pentacles, the way that he's focusing on the one, he's holding the other in his hand, and then what they showed me clairvoyantly was that it switches like that. Okay. Love that for you, group number 1. Oh my God, we're already at 17 minutes. Hurry up, girl. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. There's a decision that you're going to have to make here. And I feel like you might have to like knock on some doors within yourself to uncover some of the resistance around making this decision, or implementing this in this way, or starting this new thing. The 3 of Swords just came out as well. And this is speaking to that pain body, to that wound around the lightworker persecution imprint. So again, doing some grieving work on that, doing some energy work on that, very helpful here. That's also going to help tip the scales, is what they're showing me. It's going to shift things for you as well. Yeah, the emotional healing aspect of this is really important. Psychological, they're telling me. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. It did come out reversed. 1811 on the recording time. That's an activation for abundance. Oh my God, the freaking lightning and thunder going off right now. 9 of Cups is self-satisfaction, but I'm seeing that the job that you've been in was kind of like poison for you, which may be why you want to get out of this as soon as possible, or why you're being guided to do some energy healing, or why you're being guided to shift your practice or your focus going forward. Because they're showing me it was like it was draining your happiness rather than adding to it. And when you shift into this other line of work, you're going to have those scales tip in the other direction, where now you're feeling a lot more fulfilled and happy with what it is that you're creating or what it is that you're doing. 4 of Cups. But you do need to make a decision here, group number 1, because if you just kind of sit with where you're at for too long, first of all, it's like possibility paralysis, or the avoidance will start to make you even more afraid to take that leap or to implement or just start something. But I'm seeing anywhere that you are dissatisfied, anywhere that you are also tired, I'm seeing too. Make sure that you're balancing your energy. Like, don't burn the candle at both ends, because that's going to be counterproductive. And you might be asking, well, how do I not do that if I'm working these 2 different jobs, or I'm building a business at the same time that I'm working 9 to 5? I totally get that. It's going to be a little bit of like a tightrope walk is what they're showing me. It's going to be a bit of a trial and error balancing act for you. And they want you to pay attention to your energy levels, to your satisfaction levels, because that's going to kind of be a barometer for you, or a compass that will help to point you in the right direction about where you should be putting your energy. If you're starting to feel really drained with your 9 to 5 work, replenish yourself through some downtime, and then allow your creativity to become a re-energizing modality, a re-energizing tool for you. And then continue kind of like assessing where you're at is kind of the vibe I'm getting. On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. So I feel like you're going to get really, really clear on what you need to do. And I keep hearing the word channel. So you guys are a channel. Maybe you're starting a channel here on YouTube or something like that. Podcast I just heard as well. Strength card underneath of that. The Strength card. This is going to take great strength for you guys to overcome some of these fears or wounds, to get past some of the emotional limitations, the vulnerability. The Page of Cups in reverse and the Energy Worker card feels like this is something connected to your inner child as well. Feeling vulnerable, showing up in a different way, or, am I going to be accepted? Or maybe your parents disapproved of this kind of thing or something like that. It's like there's a deep inner child thing that is also needing to be balanced out and brought to your awareness. But I'm feeling very strongly, group 1, that you are going to make this change. You are going to feel confident about it when you do it. And you're going to trust yourself more and more as you see things progress. So you're going to learn as you go. You're going to implement some changes bit by bit, step by step, adjusting as you go along. And ultimately, it's going to lead you to this self-fulfilled prophecy of satisfaction. So also make sure that your mindset is positive, because since they just used the phrase self-fulfilling prophecy, if you have negative expectations about this, you check yourself right now, because and work on that energetically and psychologically, because that will manifest if that's what you continue to allow to take up space in your mind. But if you change that now, that's not going to be an issue. So it's like if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Eventually, of doing it the wrong way and realizing that you're sick and tired of it, you'll get fed up with the can't, and you'll just choose to do the can, is kind of what it feels like. All right, so group number 1, that is the message. Oh, I'm also getting a message about communication, responding to emails. This is all in your hands, group number 1. And they are showing me the hands typing, so there could be something to do with writing as well. Sending out emails, broadcast, I heard broadcast, network, broadcasting to your network. Knocking on doors is what they're showing me now. It's kind of like doing some networking. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from what they're bringing through. Doing some networking, and that may feel scary. They're showing me the dragon skin, so it's kind of like, and they were showing me armor earlier, and I forgot to mention it. So you are going to be a little bit toughened up with this. Your inner child will still be in there, but you're going to develop some kind of a thicker skin, especially if this is like sales or marketing or which can come along especially if you're starting an energy healing business or something like that. You do have to learn sales and marketing and communication and making copy and all of that stuff. So it feels like you are going to improve your skill set as you go along. You're learning as you go, and you're toughening up or you're thickening up that skin so that you are, I'm hearing the word unperturbable. I don't even think that's technically a word in the English language, but you can't be perturbed, basically. People can't knock you down because you have this very thick protective shield that you've created from the inside out, because you've dealt with some of those things at the heart of the matter. So that, I think, is the whole message, group number 1. Are we feeling complete with that, Spirit? Yes, but they want one more card from here. Okay. For group number 1, final closing message in regard to leaving their 9 to 5. The golden unicorn. And the lights just flickered. I really hope we don't lose power. The golden unicorn, protector, guardian, champion. So you're being guarded. You are protected as you move through this. Again, this is confirmation of what I was getting before about the unicorn. You have very special skills and talents, group number 1. So don't let your unicorn abilities go to waste behind a desk or doing something that you don't want to be doing. It could be anything, right? It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, quote unquote. But there's very special skills and talents that need to be valued in the appropriate way. And you need to honor that for yourself first and foremost. And then you will have other people reflect that back to you, is what I'm seeing. So be your own champion, step into this role with confidence, or even just with baby steps and shaking arms, whatever gets you out that gate is going to be helpful here. But you're definitely special and meant for more. Okay, group number 1, that is the message. I will leave it there. If you feel called to any of the other groups, maybe group 2 or whatever, use your intuition to guide you there. Take the messages that resonate, leave the rest. You guys know the drill. I'm wishing you all the best in your entrepreneurship and energy work endeavors. I'm sending you guys lots and lots of love, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose entrepreneur, and this card says self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We are your co-workers and teammates who remain loyally by your side to ensure your success in all ways. Okay, so group number 2, obviously we're talking about leaving the 9 to 5, being in business with yourself or for yourself here in this reading. That was the whole reason why Spirit kept channeling that through to me behind the scenes. Like I just kept having that message repeated for the last several days. And I finally sat down today and they were like, this is what we're going to talk about. And the cards came out this way. So it was perfect. So you guys are definitely meant to be entrepreneurs. Okay. Like this is what's going to suit you best. I'm hearing energy type. Okay. So you may have an energy type, whatever that means, at some level that is suited to entrepreneurship. Like you're not meant to work under someone else's thumb. Maybe you're highly creative and you need that freedom to be able to roam or run or like follow or pursue what lights you up. I'm hearing the word passion. Yeah, lots of fire in this card with the torch and things like that. So passion is very much important to you. Creativity is important to you. Freedom, I feel like, is very important to you. And this is what entrepreneurship can give you. Now, I'm not gonna say that it's all sunshine and roses. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's a hard path. It does give you a lot of freedom, but it also puts a lot on your shoulders. So you kind of have to be willing to make that exchange. You don't get the security of a 9 to 5. You don't get the stability or the predictability of that, but you also don't get the stress and the soul crushingness and the demands and the lack of humanity that some 9 to 5 jobs can have. So it is an exchange, and you kind of have to like pick your battles or choose wisely what it is that you are willing to put up with and what you're not, what you're capable of and what you're not. Entrepreneurship is also a process of like constantly learning and acquiring new skills as you go along, making mistakes, failing, getting back up again, trying again. And you have to have a certain kind of persistence and perseverance to be able to do that kind of work. But I feel like you do, group number 2, because you wouldn't have been drawn to this if you weren't built for that, is actually what it built for that, or made for that, or if that wouldn't suit you better. Like, yes, it will be difficult, there will be challenges, but there will also be a lot that you will love about being an entrepreneur. You have the Two of Cups. Partnership or business partnership may be part of this as well. It's like a team effort is what I'm hearing. You have the Knight of Wands. I'm hearing getting clear about what it is that you want. Getting clear about what your passion is, what you want to put into action, what you want to do, because the clearer you can get on that, the faster you're going to align with people who have that same passion or purpose or goal. And I'm seeing that you'll be able to team up. And they're also showing me a relay race. So yeah, you might be like going so far and then handing off the baton to this other person, and then they go back around and hand it to you. So it's like you'll be able to do this reciprocal exchange where maybe you don't have to do all of the work alone, which would be great, right? Like that makes things easier. You have the Three of Wands. I heard plan for the future when I pulled this card over. So Group 2, you are definitely being called to have a plan of action. And I'm hearing implement and then implement it. And I think this is where partnership is going to be helpful too. Because if you're not good at planning and you're more of like the impulsive creative type, then having somebody who is good at planning, again, is going to help you in the long run. And they're giving me the word longevity. It's going to help the business to go the long haul, because you won't burn out trying to do things that are not aligned with you, or that rob you of your creative passion, is what I just heard. Like if you're the creative one and you're trying to do all of the books and stuff like that, that's really going to rob your energy of the creative inspiration that needs to be put in the right place at the right time. So they're giving a strong message for you, Group 2, about working with, I just heard benefactor, but I was going to say working with somebody who is your equal but opposite in that sense, where you work and collaborate well together, but you have very different roles in this business or in this line of work, or somebody who just supports you in that way. It doesn't even have to be a business partner. This could be a spouse, definitely could be a spouse, or a friend who just gets you and understands what you need to function well to be able to do the job that you're setting out to do, and helps you do that in some way. They just help balance you out, and I'm loving the feeling of that. Okay, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Ooh, yeah, okay. So the Hanged Man in reverse is like the upright person. So usually the Hanged Man is hanging upside down. So I feel like you are ready to implement Group number 2. Yeah, you're ready to take action on this. And you've been called to this reading because it's time now. And no more, I'm hearing no more putting it off, no more laying about. Laying about, what is this, like England? No more laying about. Okay. It's time to implement. It's time to take action. It's time to put this into effect, especially if you've been wanting to pursue this like really badly. You have the Star card. There is a path that is opening up for you, and it is going to become very clear, Group number 2. So follow that star, that inner guiding star. Have hope that this will work for you, and know that you like keep your they're showing me like a star off in the distance, and when you keep that in your line of sight, you can navigate better. So like don't lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing, because there will be challenges. You will step in potholes, things like that, and you might twist your ankle or whatever, metaphorically speaking. But if you keep that star in your line of sight, you will stay on track. You won't lose yourself, because the star is not going anywhere. It's like a star in the sky. It's a fixed point. Well, the earth rotates, but let's suffice it to say that it's a fixed point, and it's you who moves around it. So as long as you keep it, they just keep showing me that as long as you keep it right there, you will make it to your goal. Yeah. It feels like follow your heart, basically, and this was a question that I asked myself when I first started my business years ago, which was a Reiki practice in the beginning, and then a YouTube channel doing tarot and so much and so forth. But basically, I asked myself, what is my why? Like, why do I want to do this? Why am I passionate about this? Why does this matter to me? And answering those questions, and then combining that with the skills that I had and the ways that I could go about expressing those skills or those passions, that was what really helped me to figure out what I wanted to do. And I'm getting this, they're showing me clairvoyantly a chart, which I know it's called Ikigai. It's a Japanese bubble chart sort of thing, or graph, that helps you to combine different areas of your life. So if you just Google Ikigai, Ikigia, I think, AI, whatever. Anyway, AI could be significant. Artificial intelligence, that could be something that helps you plan and structure your day or implement your creative ideas or something like that. But yeah, Ikigai can help you to kind of get clear on where these intersections of purpose and skill and where you can make money all collide in that center point, and then give you, something to implement with, like an idea of, well, okay, this is what I need to do. Yeah. So yeah, group number 2. This is looking good. I'm excited. If you feel called to share in the comments what it is that you're passionate about, what is your why, or what it is that you're already doing in this entrepreneurship, feel free to leave that in the comments below. But you also have the Queen, Queen. This is a Wheel of Fortune, not the Queen. But I feel like you guys are meant to be in this leadership role, because queens and kings are the leaders of the land. But you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, this is fated, group number 2. This entrepreneurship and these relationships that you're going to make, they're showing me relationships that you are going to forge through this line of work that you are creating for yourself. And they're showing me that you're going to be doing something in a different way than other people. And this is going to attract attention, or it's going to draw people to you, and they'll have questions, or they'll want to ask you, like, how did you do this? Or can you teach me this? So I feel like you're going to have a lot of people approaching you as well, asking you questions is what I'm getting. You have the 7 of Cups, and it came out reversed, but I'll hold it upright so you guys can see this, like the Magician. You're very powerful at manifesting. Manifesting could even be part of this entrepreneurship. And I'm hearing goal, or it's part of the goal, or it will help you to achieve this goal. But the 7 of Cups here, I feel like there has been some possibility paralysis or overwhelm. I feel like you are, because you're such a creative type, group number 2, it's like, and I'm the same way, like when I have ideas come in, sometimes it's like too many, and then I don't know which one to act on, or I get distracted really easily. That's Knight of Wands energy too, by the way. And, or I put a lot of effort into something, and then I'm like, ooh, shiny. And I go over here and I start doing that. And then I end up not finishing anything. Hashtag ADHD, like for real though. And, it feels like you are being called to kind of get clear on why, again, because that why will help to keep you focused. And they keep showing me that North Star. So anytime that you find yourself wandering or getting off path or getting distracted or being overwhelmed or not moving because of possibility paralysis, tune back into your why. Tune back into your passion. Come back to the source of it all. Because that's the fire that will help to guide the way. It's like the torch you hold in front of you. So you have your own torch, which lights the path directly in front of you. And then you have the North Star, which lights the path a little bit further down the line. So you have these 2 sources of light, which is also interesting because the 2 of Cups, it's like 2 light beings, you and another person, 2 sources of light. You and your higher self, I'm also hearing. You and your higher self are in a partnership here. So working with your higher self, embodying your higher self, is also going to help you to see a few steps down the line, because the higher self has the bigger picture of your life, and they can give you a little bit of additional guidance on what the next steps are if you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck. The Lovers. Yeah. So decision making is important. Working with the right people at the right time, I'm hearing, is important. They're showing me the 7th house in your natal chart being significant as well, group number 2. So look at your 7th house. What sign is in that house? Do you have planets? Do you have aspects made in your natal chart around the 7th house? And the 7th house is to do with partnerships of all kinds, business partnerships, client relationships, open enemies, and also most significantly our partners, our spouses, our romantic life choices and the people that we're called to be with in that intimate way. So I'm seeing, again, relationships being very significant to this goal, to the implementation of it, to the support that you need to be able to do this. People with different skill sets. Yeah, going back to that again, coworkers and teammates. They're showing me on the card, we are your coworkers and teammates. Coworkers and teammates may be really significant here. I don't feel like this is the type of job or business that you can do alone. Like there are maybe a certain period of time where you could do this alone, but group number 2, this feels like you really need a good support team. And I'm seeing Layla Hormozi, like she runs teams and she's very successful at that. And it's all about like people first approach, getting to know people, having a good rapport with individuals so that you can build a network of souls that mutually support each other, like cross-pollination. I'm seeing as well something about cross-pollination, being able to harmonize, work together as a group, something like that. This feels very, I feel like group number 2, at some point you will have employees, or maybe you already do. You have the Magician and the Fool. No way. Okay. Look, group 2, let me get my face out of there. The Magician and the Fool. And I was getting that Magician energy from the 7 of Cups. Like you are very much able to create and manifest your reality because you have a lot of energy. But there may sometimes be a tendency to kind of like step into things without really planning them out or strategizing or knowing what you're getting yourself into. It's like uninformed optimism. This is an Alex Hormozi quote. Why are we getting all the Hormozis here? Oh, right, because they're a divine power couple. Layla and Alex Hormozi. This is an example, this 2 of Cups, the Lover's energy. It's like this power couple. They run multi-billion-dollar businesses together and they have a lot of wisdom to share on that. That's why I listen to their channels. But Alex was talking about this process for entrepreneurs where you can go from uninformed optimism of like, wow, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great and it's going to work and it's going to be awesome. And then you dip down into this valley of informed pessimism and then despair, the pit of despair, because you're like, whoa, this is actually way harder than I thought it was, or it's not working out the way that I had hoped, or I'm failing at this horribly. What is happening? Why is this so hard? But don't stay there. Don't get shiny object syndrome and just try to start again in like this uninformed optimism loop. And don't get trapped in that cycle is what I'm seeing. The process in its full effect needs to go from uninformed optimism to informed pessimism to the valley or pit of despair, and then back up to informed optimism. So like, okay, I know a bit more about what I'm dealing with now. I've looked for different structures or support things to be able to help me problem solve or to overcome this challenge or to keep going. And then you keep going and then you get to success. That's when you see things actually working for you. So they're bringing this through for a reason, because again, it's like having a strategy, having an awareness of the patterns of how entrepreneurship can go, and that it's not a straight track. It's not linear. It's very much like this. But it's like, hopefully you want it to go up like that, right? Like you don't want it to be like, you want it to have a somewhat upward trajectory, even if it loops back on itself or it's a little convoluted, like this reading. No, but the sun just came out, and in group number 1's reading, it was thundering and lightning. So group number 2, I feel like you have this light within you that needs to be shone out to the world, and you have this optimism. So don't let yourself lose that in pursuit of these goals. Just be a little bit aware of some of the challenges that may potentially come along with this entrepreneurship. But I am seeing that the positive side of you being optimistically uninformed at some times or some points in your journey is that at least it gets you going, right? At least you're like, I'll just do it. And even if it's in that Fool energy, not really knowing where you're stepping or what you're getting yourself into, even if you do fall, I feel like your power to manifest will save you every time. And you have a network of people around you, friends, family, business. I'm hearing business owners. So like team up with other business owners, especially if you're trying to start your own or you have your own, because it's like you'll have that network of people who understand what you're going through, who can relate to you. You can relate to them, learn from them. Again, I'm hearing cross-pollinate. But yeah, there's something about your optimism that is good in the sense that at least you take an action where maybe that possibility paralysis could have stopped you. So I think that you're actually more type of person who would just go for it, which I think is a really good thing, because You won't know until you try, right? And it's better to try and fail than never have tried at all. Isn't that a love quote? It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And you have the Lovers and the Two of Cups. Maybe relationships are an integral part of this business in some way. I don't know, but there's something about relationships that is very significant to this business. Ooh, you have shapeshifter, transformation, primal wisdom, and instinct. I do feel like you have a lot of instinct, group number 2. That's Knight of Wands energy for sure. Like you have the entrepreneurial mind is what they keep telling me. Like you have the instinct, you have the passion, you have the drive. I'm hearing sales motivated. Okay. So you may be very motivated by sales, and you may be very good at making sales or driving people towards some kind of a sales something. But you're doing it because you're passionate, not because you're trying to like sell people something they don't need. It's like you're very passionate about something here, and you're able to fill different roles. I feel like you're a bit of a jack of all trades, but like I said, there's going to be areas that you're not super skilled in, but I feel like you will be learning those. Just team with the right people, because they're going to help you to learn these skills, and they're going to walk with you through this journey to your success, to mutual success. Because cross-pollination to me speaks of like a reciprocal or symbiotic relationship where you win and the other person wins, and then everybody wins. And if you're not new here on the channel, you've probably heard me say this before. If you win, the other person wins, and everybody wins, like the whole world wins collectively in some way. That's soul level alignment. And this is what we're talking about here, is soul aligned businesses, entrepreneurships, getting out of the 9-to-5 slave grind. If that doesn't resonate with you, for some people, it will be fine for them. That's cool. But you're not built for that, group number 2. So don't let people tell you that you need to be a certain thing, because first of all, I feel like you're this shapeshifter where you're constantly transforming. You're not meant to be one thing. And when I think 9-to-5, I think like one role, one job, one place, one task that you do every single day. Like that's not you. You're meant to be all of these different things. I'm feeling like you're like water. You put water in a mug, it's going to turn into the mug shape. Like, follow your heart. Cheers. If you put water into a square shape, it's going to turn square. If you turn water into ice, it'll be hard. Like you can change forms a lot. It doesn't change the fact that you're water or the cellular structure, integrity of that water. It just changes form. So I feel like you're very adaptable, and this is one of your skills. But the downside to that is that sometimes you may lose yourself in the process or get a little bit out of, not out of line. Is that like out of whack, or like lose the destination in the process of it, kind of thing. But I feel like you have this wisdom, this light within you that's guiding the path. So just trust that, group number 2. Just trust that, and align yourself with the right people. Use your instinct to judge whether, not judge, but like to discern whether people are the right fit for you, and be willing to fail. Because as you fail forward, you will succeed. That's how you succeed. Is like success is built on a foundation of failure. Okay. So like the more bricks of failure you put in that hole, the more solid your foundation is going to be to build that tower of success. Okay. Your empire. So that is the message that I have for you, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you, Spirit, for prompting this reading topic today. If you guys have reading topics you'd like to see, you can always leave them in the description. You can leave them in the comment section below. And especially for the members, I've had a couple of suggestions for reading topics from members that I'm really excited to get to. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for supporting my channel here. This is my business. This is my entrepreneurship role. This is what I do. I'm a mentor, a spiritual teacher, an intuitive reader, a channel, an energy healer, all of those things. So thank you guys for supporting my work, my dream, and the fulfillment of it through helping you. I love you guys, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the Ocean card. I'm interested to see how this connects to the theme of entrepreneurship and leaving your 9-to-5 and following your dreams is actually what I'm hearing. Following your dreams. The ocean ebbs and flows. Okay. So it says the deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. So group number 3, I feel like you have something of a special connection with nature, but specifically with the ocean. And there may be, I'm seeing the word healing womb really pop out at me, and spirit will pop out messages if they really want me to focus on it. So healing womb could be something to do with the sacral chakra in regard to this business or this work that you're doing. Sacral chakra is highly creative, and it is to do with our sensory perception, our ability to physically create and manifest things. Like I see a lot of sacral dominant souls do really well in crafting type creative things where they're like physically making things with their hands, from like bracelets, candles, to cooking, to art, painting, drawing, like anything that is physically you creating something. It's very sacral chakra. But the womb could also be part of this. So this leads me to think of like birth processes, doula, energy womb clearing. I just heard as well. Something about goddess circles could be significant for some of you in this group as well. Living by the ocean is important, I'm hearing. Okay, so being near the sea is really helpful for you energetically, group number 3, because it puts you in this alignment with the flow of nature. Somehow you're like, you resonate with the ocean, and when you're near it, it's like you just flow better. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. You get creative inspiration, I just heard as well. So creative inspiration somehow comes from when you're close to the ocean. Okay, yeah, spend time physically near the ocean. Power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. Yeah, I feel like this is what helps you to keep your energy clean and clear and under control. But like seriously, it helps you to keep yourself in this position where you can channel this creativity through, or you can make things, or you can heal, or help other people heal, whatever's that you're called to do with this business. But yeah, it feels like healing womb. They just keep showing me healing womb. You could help other people to heal their wombs. You could be healing your own womb. Something about child rearing or pregnancy could be significant in this business. Let's see what else we have here. Knight of Coins. Okay. Knight of Coins. I'm hearing pursuit. And you have the Queen of Coins. She did come out reversed though. Queen of Coins. This feels like physical healing or physically making things. Again, I'm getting that same type of energy. It's like it's very physical. It's very hands-on. There's an emotional aspect to it, but it's very like practical, or there's something that you physically have to do. Let me see. Temperance card reversed. I'm hearing have patience with your goals, because this ebb and flow, they keep giving me this ebb and flow energy. So you may experience that in the production of your wares is what I just heard. Okay. So for example, let's say you make bracelets, because that's what I'm seeing clairvoyantly. Let's say you make crystal bracelets or some other kind of bracelet. And sometimes you're really inspired and you're like, oh, I'm making all these bracelets. That's the flow. That's like the full moon, or where the tide's all the way. Wait, no, that's new moon where the tide's all the way in. Anyway, and then you may experience times where you don't have a lot of creative inspiration, or you have no desire or passion to do that thing, and you pull back and you're just like, oh, what's going on? But it's because there's this natural ebb and flow, and you're very connected to the moon, group number 3. I'm getting that strongly, the moon and the ocean. And so you kind of have to honor your feminine energy, whether you're male or female. The moon to me means feminine energy. You do have the queen of coins, but still you've got the queen, which is feminine. So there's this kind of like this point where it tips from feminine to masculine. The feminine is where you're in that flow, you're creative, you're getting things out into the physical world. And then the masculine is kind of like the logical side of the brain that wants to do things task-oriented is what I'm hearing, task-oriented. That actually helps you to implement. So it's not like those are the two sides of the equation here. I think those are both on one side of doing these tasks and making these things and starting this business or doing it full time. But it feels like there's going to be moments where you're getting a lot done and there's going to be moments where you're doing nothing. And I just feel like that's appropriate for you, group number 3. So don't beat yourself up or go into fear spirals, is what they're showing me. Don't go into fear spirals around moments when the tide is out. And you're like, oh my God, is it ever going to come back in? This could even refer to money because we do have Pentacles cards here. So that can talk about money. And it feels like there may be moments where you earn a lot and then moments where you don't. And to be honest with you, that's just entrepreneurship. That's just kind of how it is. And you hopefully will have better and better growth cycles and seasons and quarters and whatever. But quarters, pun intended, like quarters as in like the different quarters of the year. But I also just saw a flash of like the coins, quarters. And you have 2 coins cards. So yeah, something about money is really important here. You have the 2 of Wands. Okay, 2 of Wands. This is not necessarily to do with the 2 of Wands, but I'm getting something about aesthetics being important. So beauty is important. I'm getting Venusian type energy for you, group number 3. So yeah, you may be doing something creative when it comes to beauty or creating something that is aesthetically pleasing or beautiful. Something physical in that way. But anyway, with the 2 of Wands here, I feel like you have to pick a path. Group number 3, you may have been oscillating between 2 different creative projects. So not even like a 9 to 5 and then your side hustle. I feel like you're actually oscillating between 2 different creative projects and trying to determine where you're going to put your energy. And then again, it's kind of like this all or nothing type of energy that I'm picking up on. It's like it goes either 100% in this direction and 0% in this direction, or vice versa. And that can be really difficult to create harmony. That can be really difficult to see progressive results because the need for consistency is not there, or the consistent energy or focus or cash inflow or creative work in one particular area is lacking. So you do have the Judgment card. You will have to make a decision. You need to make a very clear judgment call, group number 3, on where you're going to put your energy. What's most important to you is what I just heard. What is most important to you, group 3? Because your values are going to dictate where your success lies. And I'm seeing that you can't split focus anymore. This isn't helpful to your goal. This isn't getting you where you need to go. And it's actually slowing down your progress. And it may be negatively impacting your finances as well. So it doesn't mean that you have to completely give up something to focus on only one thing, but it feels like you need to be a little more intentional or discerning about where you're putting your energy for an extended period of time, how that's important to you, what that's bringing back to you, and why that's important. We have the Page of Coins reversed. Money is definitely a factor here, group 3. Money is a big factor here. And so, like, I don't want you to give up your creative passion just because you're choosing the practical path that's going to give you more money. I feel like your passion and your money can align. I feel like they're on the same side of the fence. But there's something about maybe your mindset around money or your emotional connection to money, your beliefs around money and work and business and your creative flow, that they all feel tangled up in some way. And it's kind of like this mire that needs to be cleaned, like muck that needs to be sort of sorted out so you can see what you're working with. Yeah, you need to get clear, Knight of Swords. You need to get clear on what it is that is holding you back, where it is you need to invest more time and energy, where you need to cut strings or ties, where you need to change your beliefs, what you need to do, practically speaking, how you can be more consistent or focused in the implementation of your actions towards your goals. Yeah, 2 of Swords reversed. I feel like you get up in your head a lot, group number 3, and then you have a hard time creating this balance, or you have a hard time making decisions, or you weigh the options up for too long, or you choose one thing to the detriment of another, and then it throws everything off balance. Ace of Coins reversed. Money mindset needs to shift. Group number 3. I heard that very clearly. Money mindset needs to shift. So doing a little bit of unpacking here in regard to the way that you approach money, how you think about money, how you value your skills. Maybe you need to change your prices in what it is that you're offering to better reflect the effort of the work that you're putting in. Some of you might be charging too little. And then it's actually shooting yourself in the foot, because then you're not getting the return that you need or want off of it, or that you deserve, more importantly, that you deserve. And then as a result, you're not able to reinvest and to grow that project or that business. And so you're getting stuck in what you don't want to be doing because you're not valuing what you do want to be doing and the value in that inherently. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, it's like your mindset. Yeah, it just is what it feels like. It's like it's your mindset that needs to be a little bit adjusted here. They showed me chiropractor. Maybe somebody here is a chiropractor, or you need a chiropractic adjustment to like reset your body or to change your mindset in some way. But what I was thinking of it is more like a metaphor. It's like going to the chiropractor to get a realignment or readjustment. And your money mindset needs like to pop some things, like it needs some readjusting, because it's out of alignment, and then it's making it hard for you to implement. The High Priestess reversed. Okay. I feel, group number 3, that you are really an intuitive person, and you need to trust your intuition when it comes to making decisions. You need to trust your intuition when it comes to feeling into something. And if your intuition is telling you something is off, you need to listen to that. If your intuition is telling you you need to take a particular action, you should probably listen to that as well. But I'm seeing again like issues with discernment and trusting your intuition and listening to it and following through on that. It's like you'll get the intuitive hit and then you might deny it, or you might like go in the opposite direction that it was advising you to, because you're like, well, I need to be logical, or I need to be practical about this, or like my money needs to, I'm so concerned about money. But like your intuition is telling you to do something because it will help to increase the flow of that abundance, or it will help to increase the flow of that prosperity or money. So like you should probably listen to that. And sometimes it's counterintuitive to what we would logically believe we need to do. Spirit has tested me with this many times. There's been moments where they've told me to be practical with my finances. There's been moments where they've told me to go and splurge on something that I really didn't practically think I should be doing at that time. And they said it's an energetic signature. It's not about like the practicality of it. It's the symbolic gesture that puts you in the energetic alignment to what it is that you desire, and then it draws it in. So there's something about like your the energy you're embodying, the vibration that you're in, which is aligned to your emotional well-being, your emotional connection to your higher self, your psychic connection. Your energy body in general, group 3, is really important in terms of manifesting and creating a stable foundation on which you can relax and just create from, and then see the return on that really come back to you. So I feel like you're constantly in this like fight or flight mode of, am I going to have enough? Is this going to work out for me? How am I going to make ends meet? And that is really just pushing things away, and it's also dampening down your creativity. Just understand that there's going to be these ebbs and flows, and your role is to stay tuned in to what side of that equation you're on in that given moment. Is it a full moon? Is it a waxing moon? Is it a new moon? That's going to like literally and figuratively dictate the type of energy that you may see or the results that you're getting. Maybe you get a lot of sales around a full moon and then not so much at the new moon. And pay attention to those cycles and rhythms, because again, it's connected to your natural flow, your intuition, and how you can use the energy. They're showing me a surfer on a wave. Okay. So how you can use the energy to gain momentum instead of going against it and getting bowled over by that wave. Now they're showing me somebody getting like smacked by the wave and then drowning underneath it and like going all in circles. So instead of getting thrown off balance by the natural flow, you use it to your advantage. But it's kind of like you need to learn to surf a bit, which is where the intuition comes in. You have the 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck as well. So 8 of Cups here. This is you really choosing what brings you joy, group number 3. You need to choose what brings you joy. Nothing less will do is what I'm hearing. Okay, nothing less will do. If you are not in complete satisfaction with what it is you're doing at any given moment, especially like long term, like if you're dissatisfied and you're unfulfilled by what you're doing, you're not going to get good results. So your heart has to be in it, because for someone like you, group 3, that is what creates the results. The other half of that equation is, of course, paying attention to the ups and downs, the flows, the ebbs, and all of the, the cycles, paying attention to and listening to your intuition, making decisions from that standpoint, following where you're being guided with that. And then lastly, implementing actions as you're guided. So like putting things into full force, full steam ahead when the energy is high, and then pulling back, retreating, recuperating, healing, introspecting, coming up with ideas or letting them come to you in those downtimes. So that's really what I'm seeing here. Let's get a final closing message from this oracle deck. Oh, you guys get 2. I heard more than you expect, group number 3, more than you expect or more than you expected. So when you shift your vibration and the way that you're approaching this, you're actually going to get more than you expected. You're going to get really good results. But it's like you have to change the emotional relationship that you have to money and to work. They keep driving that home for me because there's something there that is out of alignment. All right, you have sorceress, rituals, power, and will. Sorceress, wow. I just feel like you're very connected to nature, group number 3, and you need to honor that. You are connected to the elements, is what I'm hearing. You're connected to the earth realm. So earth, wind, and fire. No, but like earth, air, fire, water. You're very connected to those elements. You need to work with those because that's going to help you to it's like you're able to flow better that way, if that makes sense. It's grounding to you. It helps you create. You have the sigil keeper, symbols, signs, and messages. Wow, look how intense this person is, this fairy. So cool. So group number 3, like you see things that other people don't. You have a lot of symbols and signs and messages that come to you. You're highly intuitive. I'm getting like almost shaman energy from you guys, group number 3. You're meant to use that to your advantage. Like don't deny that in what you're doing for work, even if it has nothing to do with that. Like use that to your advantage. It's a tool. It's a part of you that needs to be expressed through whatever it is you're doing. And your power and your will really come from you aligning to those signs, those symbols, those synchronicities, the messages you're getting from your intuition or mirrored back to you from the outside. I talk a lot about synchronicities here on this channel because that's how spirit communicates, especially when we're not paying attention, but even more so when we start paying attention. And then we start to unlock the relationship to communicate with them more internally. But those synchronicities are the way that spirit will show you where to go, what to do, what's coming up, what you need to treat or deal with, inspiration that you might receive for ideas of projects, things like that. So really pay attention to your intuition. Group number 3, I want to be like your cheerleader here because I feel like sometimes you get a little discouraged or you get down on yourself or you feel like you're not good enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are. And I am on behalf of spirit as an ambassador for spirit or as a messenger from the divine. I am here to confirm to you and affirm to you that you are worth it, that you can do this, that I just heard you deserve to charge more. Okay, we're back at that message again. You guys need to up your prices. You need to charge your worth is what I'm hearing. And if you don't know what that is, just keep increasing it until you feel uncomfortable, because that's probably you're getting into closer territory where you should be. If you feel uncomfortable charging what you're charging, that's more accurate to what you need to be. If you feel comfortable charging what you're charging, it's too little. Okay, use that as a little bit of a gauge here. But anyway, group number 3, I'm sending you so much love for this project, this goal, this side hustle, this business, this entrepreneurship, whatever it is, this healing practice, whatever it is that you're doing. I'm sending you so much love from the bottom of my heart. May it be blessed. May you be blessed, and may it be fruitful and abundant for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here on the channel with me and allowing me to do these readings for you, because this is my spiritual job. Like this is my side hustle. This is me doing my purpose as a light worker. So thank you. So anyways, I love you guys and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.